Please, reading, Machio, Jambo, Saubona, Shedadani, Ekaro, which may change based on when you listen to this. But the birds are singing, and one bird is talking. He sings a little bit, and then he says something like, it sounds like, da 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 da. What you doing? Something like that. Anyway, um, so I hope you're doing well today. And looking at not holding others' fear, and that my children and I flourish. The blessing in the blessing in children. There's so many reasons why people have children, uh, and I won't try to uh, uh, assign value to them. Uh, and one of the things that I'm most grateful for in having children is that received I received three teachers. Well, six, but I got to watch these three from birth. So I received teachers who can show me the world through their experiences and their lives, and who can teach me about what I understand or think I understand or don't understand, um, based on my interactions with them, and who cause me to evolve even as they're evolving. So even as the theme is not holding other people's fear, and that my children and I flourish. When they flourish, I flourish. When they grow, when they expand, when they meet a challenge and come through it, I get to do the same thing, and that's a very big blessing. Uh, it's both for everybody in this cause. It's not selective. So today I wanted to share about uh, just fear of spiritual difference for my children. I was raised. I am from a family of many, many ministers, church musicians, deacons, all the things, all the things. So, I mean, generations of preachers and just people who've been diligent in the church. So, for me to come up in college and be part of the Jesus Squad and graduate college and go to a church that was pretty well known in Northern Virginia and have friends that were, all about it, about being young and Christian, faithful, and then to go to seminary. I went to seminary, licensed as a minister, um, and then came out of seminary and served in a church as a youth minister for a while, and then became an initiated a kumpa, a traditional priest. So, and it sounds so much more simplistic. I can't say it was. That's a good approximation, but the way in which I lined it out makes it sound like there's no transitions. There were transitions, and in some of those transitions, um, um, I know that both my parents and my cousin's parents took issue. They, for different reasons. You know, I usually don't like speaking over generational talk. I don't think it's spot on anyway. It seems like sometimes it's so we can have like hood fights over being Gen X or millennials or alphas who are children anyway. Uh, Z, I'm sorry. Gen X, millennials, Z, and alphas. I don't want to leave nobody out. Um, but even as my children were evolving and born, there were places where I was like, well, this doesn't necessarily fit me anymore. And I need to follow into something different. So even as I was in the church, I am also in a really beautiful um, African centered Afrocentric, because people are different, varying degrees of their engagement, community. And after a while, I felt called, pulled toward an expression of my faith and connection that was uniquely African. And it came in pieces, and it came in pieces from two of the people who were concerned when the move happened. I think I shared before in uh, one of the videos about uh, going from a minister to a priest, and the connections between all of it. That's a very around travel. It's not a straight line. When I was raised studying UMI, the urban ministry curriculum. Uh, when my parents' images for me from people from the Bible were always black. I have pictures in my head of Samson, the black man, Jesus, the black Mary, Elizabeth, black women. The images that we had on the wall in church or Sunday school were they were black and white, but the clothes may be like purple or something. But everybody was rich, like rich in melanin. Uh, like my baby girl is rich and gorgeous. They almost look like they had Jerry curls. It's just funny to me now, but very rich in melanin. And so the idea that my Christian faith should be reflected, should look like um, that I should see myself, and then be getting to the place where um, the scriptures that I was exposed to, like hair like wool and feet of burnished brass, um, being able to go to Jeremiah Wright's church, Trinity United Church of Christ, being exposed to Union Temple. Like there were so many things that started in my parents' house that led me to the place where I was like, uniquely, um, I need a uniquely ancestral expression, and even seminary with liberation theology and James Cone, studying people like that, studying Katie Cannon, led me to the place where I was like, I need a uniquely African expression of my faith, my spiritual walk. And even with that, even with all the seeds that were planted, even with me coming to that place because of what I had been given by my parents and everyone else along the way, it was still problematic for my parents. I got questions like, did you feel like you were born in the wrong time? We would be having family rituals or gatherings, and my father would be sitting there on his phone looking at the stuff that we were doing. We had a rite for my eldest born, and he was looking up what it was. He was kind of off to the side, and he was looking up what it was. And so, they had it was different from what they were. It was different and very similar to what they had exposed me to. Uh, the Shrine House that we're a part of still has some of the same strengths and issues that the Black church has, even with a different uh, tradition undergirding it. But it's still Black folks there, so we have the same. We are the same wherever we are. I remember my husband's parents were concerned that we were in a cult, and maybe my parents were too. They just didn't say that. But there's the same thing that I talked about yesterday about feeling something so strongly that that you know that you know that you know. Uh, didn't make those things of consequence. I was sorry that they felt that way. I was concerned for them, but there's not enough explaining to make them okay. Um, they're okay with it now, more okay with it now. I mean, if they still feel that way, they don't say those things. Since those concerns, when one of my youngest did not exist, maybe two of them did not exist, but since those concerns shared by them, uh, all three children have gone through a 7-year-old rites. Two of the older ones have gone through nobility or womanhood rites. Um, they've all participated in different rituals, like we did. The women in the family supported the the celebrations we did for our daughters' moons, like when their cycles, and they had celebrations that included a lot of our tradition. They've been in dance and drum that connects to a lot of what we practice. It has enriched our Kwanzaa celebrations, our Mojukramu celebrations. And when the girls came through Rites, it was such a big celebration, such a big, beautiful celebration where both sides of the family, their ancestors were called out, and ancestors that the grandparents of my daughter, ancestors that touched them, kissed on them, hugged them, chastised them, snuck them to get ice cream, picked berries with them, all the things, so that that shifted things. And I think I said before that even though my father was off put with my eldest born's 7-year-old rights, that he was very present for my youngest son's 7-year-old rights. But if I had carried their fear, if I had said, okay, well, this looks like a cult to you, even though it's not, it's an organization. This looks like a cult to you. Okay, we should stop. Let's go find a church. Let's go, uh, let's stop doing this. Let's do whatever else we can do to appease, for my parents. If they were concerned about what my children were receiving, or that I had stepped in their eyes, had stepped away from this long-standing faith tradition of my family to try and find that a faith tradition that would allow them to be at ease and not allow me to breathe, then my children would not be in the places where they are. The early on in one of these videos, I wish I could say maybe the respectability politics playlist, I mentioned that my daughter, my eldest born, um, made a really astute, amazing. It was funny. It was all the things. It was very balanced. An astute video on YouTube about respectability politics. And part of the reason, along with her Akan-centered education, part of the reason that she observes things the way that she does, including who she is uniquely called to be, is because of where she's been allowed to grow. So watching them thrive, watching my children thrive in being able to stand in a place where their spiritual tradition is not fire and brimstone, is not let's ferret out the sins. Let's look for the sins that you must be committing. Not that it doesn't happen, but that's not what they perceive. It is not a punishment based system. It is a character based system. The affirmation of being your best self and being able to hear and listen and access your own power and uh, connect to the power of the ancestors that both sown in the earth, the power of those around you is a much different perspective. And I like seeing it on them. And as they grow and they develop and they share their understanding, I get the chance to grow too. So that's my story time. And that I'm grateful that the movement in that direction felt so freeing in my body, so joyful, so much curiosity and wonder at it, that it fueled moving forward in it and making sure that our children were exposed to it. Uh, and I'm also grateful that as they were supported by people in community, uh, that they brought back lessons to us that have supported us, not just as parents, but as grandparents, as aunts and uncles. So I'm grateful. So not holding other people's fears has allowed many people to thrive. My children first, and then many others. So I will share some more story time about not holding others' fears. And the blessing is you don't know when you're moving forward. I mean, part of you does know. But when you're moving forward in that excitement and exuberance and ecstatic nature of what is being given to you, even when it's different from what others around you may know or where it might make them fearful, a part of you knows this is good. But all of you can't know how beautifully it will expand. I don't know exactly how my children will move forward in their adult lives, what they have been given. Uh, but I trust that it'll be beautiful and that they will expand on what has been given to them, uh, and will blow my mind. So, yeah, yeah. So, this is Reverend Okomfo Malini, doula, yogi, sister, Mama Adi saying, see you soon. Peace.